Okay. Okay. So good evening. And and this is SQL Server demo class. Okay. And so then, and my name is Vijay Kumar. Then, so today's my focus is what is SQL Server and how it is useful. By learning this course, how it is useful to you. So what are the opportunities in SQL Server? My focus is on these 3 points. So any organization, every company maintains databases. Almost all companies maintains databases. Why companies maintains databases? You take any organization, like there are banks. Every bank maintains database. So what for companies maintains databases? Companies maintains databases for storing data. Okay, na? Answer is simple. Why companies maintains databases? Storing the data. You take bank. Every bank maintains database for storing data. What data means? Customer data. Customer data. You open account in bank. When you open account, your details are stored in bank database. Next, telecom companies, Airtel, Jio. So telecom companies maintains databases. Like what they store? They store customer data. You take SIM card. When you take SIM card, your details are stored in database. Amazon maintains what? Database. So when you register as a customer in Amazon, your details are stored in Amazon database. So the purpose of using database is storing what? Data. And this data is permanent or temporary. Means database is permanent storage or temporary storage. Okay, database is permanent storage or temporary storage. So this is permanent storage. It's not temporary storage. Okay, it's a permanent storage. So that means if you take banks, your details are stored in bank database permanently. So this is not temporary storage, it's a permanent storage. So what is the permanent storage in your computer? If you take this computer, in this computer, what is the permanent storage? What is the permanent? Hard disk. What is the permanent storage in this computer? Hard disk is permanent storage. Database is also permanent. That means database means, don't think something else. Database is part of hard disk one. That means where database is created? Database is created in hard disk. So suppose here my hard disk size is 100 GB. Okay, hard disk size is 100 GB. In 100 GB, I'll take 25 GB, create the database. Okay, na? Then, so in 100 GB, I'll take 25 GB, create the database. This is database. Okay, this is the database. So what is the difference is? The difference is this 25 GB is, this 75 GB is, okay, public memory. This 25 GB is private memory. This 75 GB is what? Public memory. Why it is called public memory? Suppose you log into Windows. After log into Windows, you can open C drive, you can open D drive, you can open F drive, like. So that public, everyone can access this memory. But database, not everyone can access this memory. Only authorized people can access. Okay. Suppose I want to access SQL Server database. Okay. I want to access SQL Server and I want to access Oracle database. To access Oracle database, it is asking what? Username and password. Without giving username and password, you cannot access the database. Then, so I want to access SQL Server database. To access SQL Server database, compulsory you have to provide login and password. So that means this database is secured. Okay, this database is what? Secure. Not everyone can access, only authorized people can access. So what is database is? Database is a storage, permanent storage. It is part of hard disk plus, and it is what's it? Not public memory. It is what? Private memory. Not everyone can access this memory. Only authorized people can access this memory. Understood? Then now, so and actually see, so what are the day-to-day operations on this database? Okay, like assume this is bank database. What are the day-to-day operations on database? What are the day-to-day operations? The day-to-day operations on database mainly four. What is that four? CRUD. What is CRUD stands for? C stands for what? C stands for create. C stands for create. R stands for read. U stands for update. D stands for delete. C means create. R means read. U means update. D means delete. Create the data, read the data, update the data, delete the data. Okay, na? Create the data, read the data, update the data, delete the data. So like you take bank, you open account. When you open account, your details are, when you open account, your details are created. Your details are created in database. You want to check the balance. Checking the balance. What is that is called? Reading. And you deposit some amount. When you deposit some amount, your balance is what? Updated. And you close account. When you close account, your details are deleted. Okay. So any database you take, the day-to-day operations are four: creating, reading, updating, deleting. Okay. Then you take a SIM card. Like assume this is Airtel database. You take a SIM card. Your details are created in Airtel database. You want to check the balance. That is called reading. Okay. You recharge. When you recharge, your balance is updated. You close Airtel account, then delete. Okay. That's all. Any database. So the mainly this four operations: storing, reading, updating, deleting. But thing is, can we directly work with this database? Can we directly work with this database? Can we directly update the data in database? Can we directly delete the data from database? Can we directly work with the database? No, that is not possible. You can't directly go to database and you cannot directly store, update and delete. You can't directly operate the database. Okay. Like suppose, for example, this is like I purchased a laptop. My laptop comes with hard disk. So can you directly work with hard disk? No. First I need to install Windows. In new laptop, first install what? Windows. After installing Windows, then you can work with what? Hard disk. Similarly, so I cannot directly work with what? Database. Okay, na? You can't directly work with database. You need a software. You need a software. What is this is? What is this is? No. This is data, but what is this whole thing? Database. What is the database means? Storage. Storage means memory. Yes or no? So it is a storage. We can't directly work with this storage. You need one software. What that software is? That software is What that software is? SQL Server. What that software is? SQL Server. Now tell me what is SQL Server is? What is SQL Server? Because maximum, if I ask SQL Server, what is SQL Server means? Everyone says SQL Server is a database. SQL Server is SQL. Like they give that answers, but it's not correct. What is SQL Server? So if I ask you what is Windows means, will you say hard disk? If I ask what is Windows means, will you say hard disk? No. So Windows is not hard disk. Okay. Similarly, SQL Server is not database. SQL Server is a software that manages database. Windows is a operating system that manages hardware. Windows is a one operating system that manages hardware. Like that, SQL Server is a one software that manages database. So if anyone wants to work with database, then so you connect to one SQL Server. You want to update. You want to create the data. If you want to create the data, give request to SQL Server. SQL Server go to database and create the data. You want to update the data. You give request to SQL Server. SQL Server go to database and update the data. You want to delete. Give request to SQL Server. SQL Server go to database and delete the data. That means anything you want to perform on database, give request to SQL Server. That means you operate the database through SQL Server. Okay, like we operate the TV through remote. Yes or no? Similarly, we operate the database through SQL Server. Okay, then so now so simple, like one is database, that is for storing data. Okay, one is a software used to manage the database. Okay, one is storage, another one is what? Software to manage that storage. So now, but if you go to like, okay, then only SQL Server is there to manage the databases. Only SQL Server is there to manage the databases. No, there are number of softwares available in the market to manage the database. So what are the other softwares available? Okay, now what are the other softwares available? So one is what? Oracle. So SQL Server is one. Next one, what? Oracle is one. DB2 is one. Next what? MySQL is one. Next, PostgreSQL is one. Like what are these? These are all these are softwares. All these are softwares used to manage database. Like we have number of operating system, Windows, Linux, Apple, like that. We have number of what's it? Softwares to manage the database. Then, so they're from different companies. Okay, na? They're from what's it? Different companies. I just given only popular 5, but there are number of. So if you want, you can go to this, like what? Top 10, what's it? Top 10. Okay, then. So like you'll get number of. Okay, then. So like one is WhatsApp, Maria, DB, another one DB2, another one what? SQLite, another one what? Qubrit, another one Firebird, another one Oracle database, another one SQL Pro, another one PostgreSQL, another one SQL Server, another one MySQL, like that. So there are number of available in the market. Okay, then. So, but all these are used for same purpose. Purpose is same, but they are from different companies. Like we have smartphones from different companies. Similarly, they're all from different companies. But this is from This is from what? Microsoft. And this is from Oracle Car. And this is from IBM. MySQL is also from Oracle Car. PostgreSQL is from PostgreSQL Forum Development. So they're all from different companies, but all they are used for purpose is same. They are used to manage what? Database. Okay, then so, but which is most widely used? Which is most widely used? Okay, na? Like there are number of smartphones available. Which is most widely used? What is the popular mobile phone? No answer. Every mobile phone is what, sir? Popular. Okay, na? Yes or no? Customers are there for Samsung, customers are there for Redmi, customers are there for Realme. Yes. My budget is 10 to 20,000. Then my budget is 10 to 20,000. I'll go for this category: Samsung, Redmi, Realme. My budget is 1 lakh. Then I'll go for iPhone. Yes. Here also same thing. Okay, na? Then, sir, here any company wants a database with advanced features, then they go for this too. Okay, na? If any company wants a database with what? Advanced features, then they go for this. What? Oracle and SQL Server. But any company wants a database with basic features, then they go for this. Understood? A company wants a database with advanced features, and definitely they go for this SQL Server, Oracle. And a company wants a database with basic features, they go for this MySQL and PostgreSQL. And these two are open source databases. These two are what, sir? Open source database. Why they are called open source means? Open source means like you can download, you can install, you can use it. You can download the software, you can install the software, you can use it. You don't need to take license. But when it comes to SQL Server and Oracle, what? You have to take what, sir? License. For SQL Server, Oracle, you need to take license. Free editions are also there. Free editions are also there. Okay. But usually you have to take license for using them. So understood on that. So like students, you, me, like what we use what? Free editions. Okay, na? We use what? Free editions. Like SQL Server free edition is there, Oracle free edition is there, because we use it for training purpose. You use it for learning purpose. I use it for teaching, training, to give the training. But so companies, if you go to bank, HDFC Bank is there. So companies uses what? Licensed version. Licensed version gives advanced features. Okay, na? Then, so, sir, all this is what? Like, and all this belongs to one family. What that family is? So these databases are called SQL databases. Okay, all these databases are called what? SQL databases. That means why they are called SQL databases? Because what is this uses? SQL Server uses what, sir? A language. What is that language it uses? SQL language. Oracle uses what language? SQL language. DB2 uses what language? SQL language. MySQL, PostgreSQL uses what language? SQL language. That means all these softwares uses a common language. What the common language is? SQL. SQL is common. Okay, na? Then, So what are the advantages? What are the advantages? Advantages, if you know SQL Server, you can work with other databases. You know SQL Server. If you learn SQL Server, you can work with other databases. So if you know SQL Server, you can work with Oracle database also. Why? Because in Oracle database also they use one SQL language. Sir, understood now? So the advantage is for developers, because if developer knows, if you know one database, you can work with other databases. Okay, then so like suppose for example you come to SQL Server class after 1 month, after 1.5 months, your course is completed. Suppose you joined in a company. In that company, in project, database is SQL Server. Because you learn the course here, so you can work with SQL Server. But in the next project, database is not SQL Server. Database is Oracle. Then you don't need to come to Amirpet to learn Oracle. Okay, na? Because you can work with Oracle also. Okay, then so all these databases same. If you know .NET, can you work with Java projects? If you know .NET, can you work with Java project? No. If you know Java, can you work with .NET projects? No, because their language is different. So .NET uses C#, Java uses Java language. Language is different. That's why you cannot like shift. But here what's it? Language is what? Same. Okay, then. But nowadays, okay, na? Nowadays, like simple here, if you know operating one phone, you can't you operate another phone? Yes, because they're all working on same OS, Android. That's why if you know operating one phone, you can operate another phone now. So similarly here also same thing. Okay, then, but here nowadays companies are also using one more. Companies are also using one more. What is that is? NoSQL. Companies are also using one more database. What the database is called? NoSQL databases. Example, MongoDB, Cassandra. Okay, na? Then nowadays companies are also using some databases. Those databases are called NoSQL databases. That means nowadays companies are using two. What are the two? Companies are using SQL databases. Companies are using NoSQL databases in their projects. Okay, then MongoDB, Cassandra. These two comes under. Okay, not only two, maybe number of there, but popular two, most widely used, MongoDB and Cassandra. So, like question is, why companies are using two databases? Okay, na? Why companies uses two databases? Reason is here, these databases are good for storing structured data. These databases are good for storing unstructured data. Okay, na? Why companies like this is good for? So companies use these databases for storing, for handling structured data. Companies use these databases for handling unstructured data. Okay, unstructured data. Now tell me, what is structured and unstructured? What is structured and unstructured? Sir, what is structured and unstructured? Suppose my data is there in like an Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, how data organized? You know, everyone knows Excel. In Excel, how data organized in the form of rows and columns. My data is organized in rows and columns. Then what is that is called? Structure. If data organized in rows and columns, that is called structure. Okay, then, and my data is stored in PDFs. My data is there in PDF. My data is there in MS Word document. My data is there in images. My data is there in audio files, video files. What this is? Unstructured. PDF is one. Unstructured. Documents, MS Word document, unstructured. Audio, video, images. What are these? These are all unstructured. Okay. For handling this unstructured data, companies use these databases. For handling structured data, company use this one. Okay. So like suppose here, for example, you go to ATM, you do some transaction, withdraw deposits. When you do the withdraw deposit, some data is generated or not? Yes. Okay. What data is generated? So which customer has done the transaction? What type of transaction he has done? Withdrawn or deposit? How much amount? What is his account number? What is the PIN number? From which ATM center he has done the transaction? This type of data is generated. What this type of data is? Structured or unstructured? Structured. This is structured. You go to Facebook, YouTube's, okay, social media platforms. In social media platforms, what type of data is generated? Unstructured data is generated. So because in Facebook, most of the content is what? Audio, videos, images, like that. Yes. So then what type of data is generated in social media? Unstructured data is generated. So for handling that unstructured data, so companies use this NoSQL databases. For handling structured data, company use this then. Sir, in olden days, some years back, like, so you can say 80, what's that? 20%, 80-20. What is 80-20? 80% what's that? Structured. 20% is unstructured. The type of data generated, 80% structured, 20% is unstructured. But nowadays, like it is come to 50-50. What is 50-50? 50% what? Structured, 50% what's that? Unstructured data is generated. Okay, na? Understood. So that is the reason. So like companies are also using this one for every project. Okay, na? Then like so sir, in your resume, okay, na, you mention technical skills. In that you mention what databases you know. You know what programming languages you know, what OS you know, what databases you know. You mention that. So in databases, like you mention what are the databases you know. Like if you mention like this, I know SQL Server, I know Oracle, that means no weightage will be given. If you say I know SQL Server, I know Oracle means, so weightage will not be given to you. Okay, na? If you say I know SQL Server, I know MongoDB, then definitely weightage will be given to you. Sir, understood na? So if I say you know SQL Server, comma Oracle. If you say like this, weightage, no weightage will be given to you. Okay, because both are what? Both are SQL databases. Both are SQL databases. Knowing two SQL databases is not required. One SQL database is enough, because if you know one SQL database, you can work with other SQL databases also. That's why companies will not give the importance to the guy who knows two SQL databases. Suppose if you mention like this, SQL Server, next one, MongoDB, and definitely importance will be given to the person who knows these two. That means they'll understand that this guy can handle structured and unstructured data. So importance will be given. Okay, then. So, but sir, from this class, you will be learning this one, SQL Server, because you are joining for SQL Server. You'll be learning this SQL Server. Then, sir, how to learn this MongoDB? Do I need to join a separate class? Okay, na? Do I need to join a separate class? No. Okay, na? So in this class only, I'll cover. Okay, na? So just 1 week, okay, na? I'll spend for MongoDB. That is enough. With that, you can like what you can. So go through that. That is enough. Basics enough. I'll spend 1 week, some days for MongoDB. With that knowledge, you can. So just you can go through the manuals, materials, etc. Okay, then. So that's all. Okay, now, so definitely, so importance will be given to the person who know this one, like SQL Server and what's that, MongoDB. Okay, then so like for whom it is useful. Okay, then for whom this is useful, this database is, whether it is SQL or no SQL is secondary, but for whom it is useful, those like you are all learning what you are come to SQL server or learning any other course. No, only SQL, that's all. Okay, whom this is useful for whom, like who wants to develop the career in what's that, web development. For web development, for any website you take, database is required or not? Yes, you don't find a single website without what's that, database. So for very website, so database is required. So then who wants to develop career in what's that, web development, compulsory they require what, database knowledge. Database knowledge is required. Okay, then so by using this they develop ASP.NET. Next one what's that, C#.NET plus what, SQL server. This is the combination. By using these three technologies you can develop web application. So this is in .NET. If you go to Java, then what's it, they use what, Java. Okay, then so they use something Spring like our advanced Java, etc. So then they use advanced Java like Java plus what's it, Oracle, or like anything PHP plus what, MySQL. These are all web application platforms. But for all these web applications, compulsory what is required, database knowledge is required. Without database knowledge, you cannot develop web application. Okay, then next, who wants to develop the career in BI? Who wants to develop the career in what's it, BI development. What is BI means? What is BI stands for? BI stands for business what's that, intelligence. Okay, na? BI development, business intelligence development. Example for BI tools. Example for BI tools what's it? Power BI. Power BI. Next one what's it? Tableau. Like number of tools are there. Power BI, Tableau. So you want to be like in this side, you want to become BI developer. You want to be in this BI development. Then so for Power BI and Tableau, compulsory what is required? What is required? SQL server is required. So Power BI plus SQL server. Tableau plus what's that? SQL server. What is required is SQL server is required. Okay. You suppose you attend Power BI class. If you attend Power BI class, faculty will ask you, you know SQL or not? If you say, I don't know SQL, means what faculty says, first learn SQL, then come to Power BI class. Okay, then next. So you want to like, you want to become a data scientist. Okay, na? You want to become what's that? Data science. You want to become a data scientist. Like what? Data science using what? Using Python plus what's that? R. Compulsory, what is required? SQL knowledge is required. Database knowledge is required. So even for data science also, like they will ask whether you know SQL or not. If you don't know SQL, so going to this course will be difficult for you. If you don't know SQL, learning this is difficult. Without database knowledge, learning this is difficult, plus getting job is also difficult. For all this, what is required? Database knowledge is compulsory. Okay, sir, I don't want to be web developer. I don't want to be BI developer. I don't want to be data science. I just want to develop my career in SQL server only. I want to develop my career in what's it? SQL server. Yes, that is also there. Okay, na? Suppose like what is this is, what people will do after completing this SQL server, then they prepare resumes, attend interviews. Then so first SQL server what? Developer, SQL server developer. Okay, na? They become SQL server developer because every company requires database developers, SQL Server developer. After gaining some experience, okay, after gaining some experience, they shift to what? SQL Server, what's it? SQL Server DBA. So they initially they start as SQL Server developer. After gaining some experience, they'll become SQL Server DBA. Okay. Next one, SQL Server DBA, or like what? Azure DBA, then Azure SQL DBA. Okay. So what is DBA stands for? Database Administrator. Okay. Na? What is DBA stands for? Database what? Administrator. Okay. Na? Then, so like if you take programming languages, Java, .NET, you become Java developer, .NET developer. When it comes to SQL Server, there are two roles. In SQL Server, there are two. One is developer, another one DBA. One is what? Developer, another one DBA. So developer means developer is involved in coding. Developer is involved in what's it? Coding. And DBA is not involved in coding. DBA is involved in what? Administration. DBA is involved in administration. Suppose, for example, so you take, for example, see, what is most important for companies? Like you take any companies, what is most important is, okay, na? For companies, the most important is database is most important. Sir, if employees are gone, they can recruit another employee. If database is gone, okay, na? Database is gone. Suppose you go to bank, you ask, sir, what is my balance? Then what is my balance? Suppose they say that, okay, you ask what is my balance, but bank people says that your details are gone, then will you accept? Bank says your details are gone, then will you accept? No. So what is most important for companies? Database is most important. If database is gone, customer data is gone. When customer data is gone, customers will go to court. So company has to face legal issues. So that is the reason what they do, regularly they maintain backups. Regularly they take what's that? Backup. You know backup, huh? Backup means what? Like one certificate is there, that is most important for you. Then what you do? You keep one Xerox set. So that is like you can say backup. Similarly, database is most important. Then what they do? They maintain what's that? Backup. Backup means another copy of what? Database. Okay. Then, so who take these backups? This is what is that? DBA. DBAs will take backups. They are not involved in day-to-day coding. They are involved in what's that? Administrative activities. One of the administrative activities is what? Backup and restore. Okay. Then, so but anyone so who wants to develop the career in these platforms, and definitely, okay, then they need what's that? Database knowledge. They need database knowledge. Okay. Then no. But in this entire course, in this duration, okay, na? So because here, then I'll be just discussing SQL Server. Okay. But what I said, I'll discuss SQL Server. Okay. Then, and also I'll be covering some DBA part also. Okay. Na? I'll be covering what's it? DBA part. I'll be covering the DBA, database administration part also. Then after this class, after this course, so like you'll be learning how to take backups, how to restore the database, what are the DBA day-to-day DBA activities, Okay, I'll be discussing that, and I'll discuss plus and also I'll cover that DBA activities. Not only development, I'll be covering what's that DBA. Next plus, so I'll give some what like MongoDB. Okay, na? Plus just not, we cannot give complete thing. So I'll give how to use what's that this, how to like use Power BI. Okay, na? Power BI is there. Then how to use what? Power BI. Okay, then so why companies use this Power BI? What is a business intelligence means? Like to create this. Okay, na? What to create? What's it? Then so then to create this, what for Power BI is used in industry to create this, not visible. Then this one to create this. What is this is? What is this is? Huh? This is like what? What is this is? Bar chart. Bar charts. What is this is? Okay. Then pie charts like that. Yes or no? So to create this type of things, they use what's it? Power BI or what? Power BI or Tableau. Okay, na? Then so in this class, I'll show how to create this, how to create this type of things. Okay, then so I'll give that, like we'll see that. Okay, then in this course, so I'll give like SQL Server development, plus I'll also cover DBA topics, and I'll be covering, I'll give some introduction to MongoDB, plus I'll show how to create that type of like dashboards in using what's it? Power BI. Okay, then understood now? Then so, and this course takes, okay, like this course takes around 45 days, maybe plus some 1 week to 10 days maybe extended. Okay, then and every day this 6 to what? 7:30. Okay, na? 6 to 7:30. Next, this is Monday to what? Saturday. 6 to 7:30 IST, Indian Standard Time. Okay, na? Then so, and this course material, okay, what they do, this Naresh IT people, they create one what's it? Google Classroom. You know this, no? Don't know? So Google Classroom is created. So in this Google Classroom, you'll be added to this Google Classroom. Okay, then every day what I will do, I'll add the material to this Google Classroom. What is added to this Google Classroom is class notes, daily class notes. Okay, class notes is added. Next, some PDFs are added. Some, what is added? Interview questions are added. Okay, some interview questions are added. Next one, MCQs are there, most commonly asked questions. So like this one, SQL MCQs are there. This will be added. Okay, then so some SQL Server, what's it? Like, okay, I think it is there in some other system. So then so SQL Server interview questions are there. Okay, all this will be added to that Google Classroom. So you can download this from Google Classroom. You don't need to, if you want to write, you can write the notes, but okay, otherwise you can download it. Okay, na? Then this is one-time download. PDFs, interview questions, MCQs, this is one-time download, but every day what you have to download is class notes. After the class, I'll update the like Google Classroom, so you can download it. If you want, you can write it, otherwise you can download. Okay, then so this is like what is my, okay, na, agenda is. Okay, then so if you have any doubts, we'll discuss. Otherwise like we'll start the regular class from tomorrow. Okay, na? We'll start the regular class from tomorrow. Okay, then So, and first 1 or 2 days, I'll discuss on database concepts. Instead of directly going to SQL Server, first we'll discuss what's a database concepts. In this, I'll be covering what is database, what is DBMS, what is RDBMS. Like I'll be covering these fundamentals. Once these concepts are completed, then we can go to SQL Server. But I will not take much time. I'll just take 1 or 2 days. Okay, because this is like required before you start SQL Server. Because if you know these fundamentals, understanding SQL Server will be very easy. Okay, so before you learn Java, you need OOPS concept. Similarly, before we go to the SQL Server, you need some database concepts. Okay, I will not take much time. Just I'll take 1 or 2 days. Once that is completed, then we can start SQL Server. Okay, so any doubts? Huh? Programming is there. Yes. So in this, like in SQL Server, in this there will be two. One is SQL, another one TSQL. Okay, na? TSQL. What is TSQL stands for? Transact SQL. Okay, this will be covered. Yes, I'll share the course content also. Okay, na? I'll share the course content, what topics are covered. So that also I will be giving it. Okay, then stored procedures, functions, triggers, all that will be covered. Okay, dynamic SQL is there. Then. Okay, na? So in DBA, so in this DBA, okay, then in this SQL Server DBA, so I'll be covering how to take what's that backup, how to take the backup, how to restore the database. Next one, some kind of performance tuning. Okay, performance tuning, plus how to do the scheduling. Okay, then how to create logins, how to create the logins for users. Like that will be covered in this one DBA part. Okay, na? Then in the next start, after 1 or 2 days, like I said, this will be covered now, database concepts. After completing that, once we start SQL Server, I'll give the difference between what are the day-to-day activities of what developer, what are the day-to-day activities of DBA. I'll give that. Okay, not only I'll give that, practically also we'll see. We'll see that practically. Okay, then. Any doubts? Okay. Okay, na? So any doubts you can ask, otherwise we'll continue this tomorrow. So just today, just demo class, I just want to give what is what, and from tomorrow onwards we'll take class 6 to 7:30. Okay. Yeah, hello. Yes. I'm talking to this online people. Yes. So like course fees, you have to contact Naresh IT. Okay, na? I think course fees 2000 is per. Okay, Offline. Ah. 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 112233 password 33 2233 yes. SQL yes we'll learn then okay na then yes definitely we'll learn because this is most of the parties writing queries only okay na. Hmm? 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 Full stack yes this is enough. DB అంటే కంప్లీట్ ఇన్ డెప్త్ ఉండదు ఓకేనా దెన్ బట్ ఇప్పుడు డెవలప్మెంట్ నీకేమి ఇస్తానంటే ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లెవెల్ ఇస్తాను బట్ డిబిఏ అంటే నీకు ఫ్రెషర్ లెవెల్ ఇస్తాను ఓకేనా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లెవెల్ కావాలి అంటే నువ్వు సపరేట్గా జాయిన్ కావాలి. ఇప్పుడు 1.5 hour క్లాస్ 6 to 7:30 నెక్స్ట్ మీరు ల్యాబ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఓకేనా మీరు ఎనీ టైం చేసుకోవచ్చు ఓకే. టిఎస్క్యూఎల్ వస్తుంది దీంట్లో పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూఎల్ అన్నాము టిఎస్క్యూఎల్ అంటాం ఇక్కడ ఓకేనా. ఒరాకిల్లో పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూఎల్ అంటారు ఇక్కడ టిఎస్క్యూఎల్ అంటారు. కంపల్సరీ లైక్ ఓకేనా. సో పవర్ బిఐకి ఎస్క్యూఎల్ సర్వర్ నేర్చుకో కంప్లీట్గా సేమ్ సేమ్ సింటాక్స్ డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి minor syntax differences will be there but almost all same. One second. One second. Tell me. Yes. Live. Lab. Yes, you can. Yes. That's what 1.5 hour class. Okay, na? The remaining lab you can do. SQL queries, TSQL programming, SQL queries, yeah, commands. But in TSQL programming. Okay, na? दोनों पढ़ाएंगे ओके ना पढ़ाते but I said no maybe it takes 1 week to 10 days will be extended definitely. Tomorrow definitely tomorrow will start okay na. But I'm not IT sir, I'm not IT. But you know basic knowledge now computers excels wait you know now that's enough okay. Definitely you attend some days like okay now because they don't ask anything just for first 3-4 days 5 days they don't ask anything you attend. So if you feel comfortable okay I'm comfortable with this course then you can continue okay na. Yeah. Data engineering packages just experience so they are ready to give 40 lakhs packages also. Data engineering one demand ఏదైనా బెటర్ SQL server power SQL server SQL SQL server and data engineering ఫస్ట్ SQL సర్వర్ నేర్చుకోండి. సో తర్వాత మీరు పవర్ బిఐ కానీ ఎడ్యూ SQL ఇంజనీరింగ్, ఎడ్యూ డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఏదైనా బెటర్. సేల్స్ కోర్స్ ఎవరు చెప్పారు నేర్చుకోవాలి? ఆఫ్టర్ థియరీ. ఓకే, అచ్చా. మరి అదే కంటిన్యూ SQL సర్వర్ డిఫరెంట్. ఓకే, యాక్చువల్గా అంటే పవర్ బిఐ నేర్చుకుంటాం. మీకు చాలా కావాల్సి వస్తుంది. SQL సర్వర్ పవర్ బిఐ కాంబినేషన్ ఫస్ట్ ఒకటి మీరు ఈ SQL సర్వర్ 3 years పెడతారు, 6 years 2 years 3 years దీని మీద 2 years పవర్ బిఐ. ఇప్పుడేం ఉండదు, PSQL లో ఉంటుంది కోడింగ్. ఇంకా మీకు ఈజీగా అర్థమవుతుంది, కోడింగ్ ఉన్నా కానీ అర్థమవుతుంది. అదంతా టఫ్ కోడింగ్ ఏమి ఉండదు. ఓకేనా, సింపుల్ కోడింగ్ ఉంటుంది. డిబి కూడా ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ, మన దగ్గర లేదు. మన దగ్గర DBS లో కోడింగ్ ఈజీనే ఉంటుంది. మీకేమీ అంత కాంప్లెక్స్ కోడింగ్ ఉంటుంది, సింపుల్ కోడింగ్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఒరాకిల్ ఎపెక్స్ మీకు. ఓకే, సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ అంత అసలు ఆ కోడింగ్ ఉండదు, అసలు అంత ఉండదు. సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ కూడా బాగానే ఉంటుంది, దాని కూడా బాగానే ఉంటుంది. క్లౌడ్ ఇవన్నీ బాగానే ఉంటాయి బాస్, క్లౌడ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ అన్ని బాగానే ఉంటాయి. బికాస్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఎంత మూవ్ అవుతున్నారు, క్లౌడ్కి మూవ్ అవుతున్నారు. సో క్లౌడ్ టెక్నాలజీస్ అన్ని బాగానే ఉంటాయి. డెవాప్స్, AWS, డెవాప్స్, ఎజ్యూర్, ఈ కాంబినేషన్ కూడా బాగానే ఉంటుంది. సార్, ఆన్లైన్ స్టూడెంట్స్, ఫుల్ DBA కోర్స్ ఈజ్ నాట్ అవైలబుల్ ఇయర్. ఓకేనా, I'll give the basics. ఓకేనా, DBA. So because actually this course is meant for SQL Server developer course, but in addition to the developer, I'll give the DBA concepts also. Okay, na? Then. So SQL, say Oracle, SQL Server, almost all same. Some differences will be there. The differences are minor differences, not major differences. Okay, then. So this is only one subject, boss. Only one subject. So Manish, you are asking how to become BI developer. Learn SQL Server plus learn Power BI or Tableau. Then you can become BI developer. I'll add the course content. Tomorrow I'll show that. Maybe it is not there in the system. Tomorrow I'll definitely show the course content. Okay, na? See, after learning Oracle, there is no options for you. Next what? After Oracle, next what? No options. But here, after actually there, but they're not in like companies. Only less companies are using. But when it comes to SQL Server, after SQL Server, what next? So there are number of SQL Server. Next, what I said now, just now I said Power BI. Next one, Azure, what? Azure SQL, Azure SQL DBA is there. Okay. Then next, Azure Data Engineering is there. Like that, number of options are there after SQL Server. But after Oracle, what is there? So you want to develop your career in Java platform, then learn Oracle. Otherwise, leave it. Learn SQL Server. Only for Java students, you learn Oracle. If not Java, then don't learn Oracle. Learn SQL Server. Oh. Oh.
Next my name is
Oh. Oh. Yes. Then learn this one. Oh, data analysis. Yes. You can. But if you want to go Microsoft products, then learn SQL Server. Because Azure, they're all Microsoft products now. Learn Microsoft database. That will be useful to you. Okay. Na? Yeah. So in Oracle, then learn Oracle products. If you learn Oracle database, learn Oracle products. That will be useful. Yes. Oh. Oh. Yes. SQL Server with Power BI. Okay. Na? ఈజీగా నేర్చుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే. ఫస్ట్ అయితే ఇది అటెండ్గా కొన్ని రోజులు ఒక 1 వీక్ 10 days తర్వాత నువ్వు అది ప్లాన్ చేయి. ఓకేనా. డైరెక్ట్గా 2 సైమల్టేనియస్గా చేయలేవు. ఎట్ ఏ టైం అవ్వదు. అవుదావు అంటే కొన్ని రోజులు కావాలి. 15 days అయినా కావాలి. ఇక్కడ 15 days అయితే నీకు అది ఈజీగా అర్థమవుతుంది. ఎస్. Yes. Yes. SQL Server. After SQL Server, then learn Power BI. Yes. Power BI అది కూడా అంతే. 1.5 month పడుతుంది. 1.5 to 2 months పడుతుంది. 1.5 month పడుతుంది. ఎస్. ఇక్కడ ఆన్లైన్ కావచ్చు. ఏమిచ్చారు? ఆఫ్లైన్ కూడా ఇచ్చారా? ఓకే. ఓకే. ఇది ఎన్నింటికి? 7:30 PM. ఓకే. ఓకే. ఉండదు కావచ్చు. అడగండి. ఓకే. వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారు నీకు. లైక్ వాళ్ళు చెప్తారు. డిఫరెంట్గా బాగుంటుంది. ఉంటాయి. డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటాయి. 2 years పెట్టుకొని మీరు కంపల్సరీ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఎస్. ఎస్. ప్రాక్సీ అవన్నీ ఆలోచనలు వద్దు అసలు. ప్రాక్సీలు. ఓకేనా. నువ్వు బాగా సబ్జెక్ట్ నేర్చుకో. ఇప్పుడు నీకు మంచి టైం ఉంది. 2 months ఉంది కదా. ఇవి 2 monthsలో బాగా గెయిన్ చేయి. దాన్ని మిగతా అన్ని ఇచ్చేసి దీని మీద కూర్చో. సో నీకు మంచి నాలెడ్జ్ గెయిన్ చేస్తే నీకు ప్రాక్సీలు ఇవన్నీ ఎందుకు? ఎస్. యా. I'll upload the daily class notes in Google Classroom. So DBA course, you have to talk to the Naresh IT. Okay, and I think it's not there in Naresh. Course fee, sir, course fee also you talk to Naresh IT. I think 2000 is 2000 without recordings, 5000 with recordings. If you want everyday recordings, you want to see, you want to like receive the everyday recording, class recording, then you have to pay 5000. If you don't want recordings, the fees is 2000. This class is online and offline. Yes. Sir, here only with SQL Server we can't do the project. We need some other technologies like Power BI, .NET. With the technologies, we can do the projects. With only SQL Server, one cannot do the project. What I can cover is I can cover project scenarios I can cover. But to do the project, we need other technologies also. This course is complete SQL Server. Yes. This gives, I'll give in-depth of SQL Server. Sir, Manish, like, okay, but good for fresher is good for BI developer. Is it good for BI developer? Okay, but freshers will get less calls compared to experienced freshers will get less calls. Okay, na? Then. So if it is programming is okay for you, then you learn .NET. If programming is not okay, then learn SQL Server and learn Power BI, then okay. You can learn within 45 days, but this takes 45 days, maybe 1 week extended. Okay, na? Sir, see, you attend my class, okay, na? Everything, all your doubts will be cleared then. That's what boss here. SQL Server in every project, SQL Server will be there. Every project requires SQL Server. .NET project requires SQL Server developers. Yes, all the topics will be explained with practical. This is complete practical only. It's not theory. Okay, na? Then. Sir, Manish, learn SQL Server because database is compulsory. Learn SQL Server. Okay. Later you think of learning Power BI or learning other tools. Or later you think first learn this database because once you get database, you'll get some ideas. Okay, na? Then. Okay, then. Okay, guys. Attend some just first 3-4 days you attend. Okay, na? Let me complete the let me just take up this introduction part. So all your doubts will be cleared. Whatever doubts you have, all your doubts will be cleared. Sir, at present evening batch boss, maybe they plan later, they plan morning batch also. At present evening. How to practice means you have to install SQL Server in your laptop. Okay, na? Then. Okay, then. That's what Ujjal, like, that's what I said. You are not listening. Like at present, evening is there. Morning, they will may start later. Okay, na? I'll share the course content. So then in this, we'll be covering SQL, we'll be covering TSQL, everything will be covered. So that will not be there. Accessing server access, that is not there here. Like, okay, then you have to install in your system. Okay, guys. Okay, bye. Attend just first 2-3 days. You attend, just your doubts will be clear. Everything will be clear. Okay, then that's what, boss. Everything I'm saying, everything I'll show that how to install, how to download, how to install. I'll show that everything. Okay, no? Then okay. Okay, then bye. See you, and we'll continue this tomorrow. Okay, then bye. See you tomorrow. So thank you, guys. Bye. See you tomorrow.